Thank you. Thank you. Wow, it's a pleasure to be here. What a beautiful theater. Is this awesome? How about a nice round of applause from Mesa Community College? And wow, I did not know this was originally a Harkins theater. I didn't even know that. And now, coincidentally, for the same money you used to spend at the concession stand, you can now go to school. So just keep that in mind. It's very affordable. It's welcome to be here. It's a September episode of Mesa Morning Live. Thanks so much for being here. I'd like to kick off the morning with a performance from Mesa Community College's own Performing Arts Center Musical Productions. They're gearing up for a production of the 25th annual Putnam County Spelling Bee, and you can get your tickets right here at Mesa Community College. But they're going to kick us off today and get us started. How about a nice round of applause for these folks?
At the 25th annual Putnam County Spelling Bee, my parents keep on telling me just being here is winning, although I know it isn't so.
But it's a very nice, very, very nice, very, very nice, very nice
beginning.
Our winner here last year, Chip Tolentino, let's give him a hand. Ready? Oh, and our youngest competitor, Miss Logan Shorts and Grubinier.
At the 25th annual Putnam County Spelling Bee, I'll stand when they announce my name.
Leaf Coney Bear.
And try to keep from shaking.
I'll laugh if thinking will not pass. 'Cause it's a very big, very fraught symbol, but it's not. It's a very big undertaking.
Returning after last season's tragic setback, William Barfy.
It's pronounced Barfay. There's an accent. Take you. Thank you.
Winner's destination, Washington, D.C. Plasma TV in a fancy hotel where they treat you well. All because you love to spell. We spell.
It's a marvelous memory. If you win the spelling bee, one's life improves from A to Z. The minute you are crowned here, I see a trophy held by me. And when I won, did I swell? Oh, the stories I could tell. But braggarts won't do well around here.
Hi, I'm Olive. Do you know where I check in?
Excuse me, I made this area with invisible tape.
Oh, sorry.
The 25th annual, we memorize the manual about how to spell these words, words that require thought. People think we're automatons, but that is exactly what we're not.
We hear the word.
We breathe, we wait. Unlike idiots, we idiot.
To ideate is to form an image or idea. To think.
At the 25th annual Putnam County Spelling Bee,
We feel no animosity, and yet our heads are spinning.
We are the slightest bit bizarre.
But since the time is now,
holy cow,
We shall take a solemn vow to concentrate on winning.
we concentrate on winning. At the 25th annual Putnam County Spelling Bee, we speak so damn convincingly.
They're nervous, but they're grinning.
It seems we're living out our dreams.
Which is a very nice, very nice, very, very, very nice, very nice, very nice, very, very, very nice, very nice beginning.
25th annual
Very nice. I'm not sure. Is that the performance? Didn't want to interrupt the spelling bee. We don't have rehearsal here, folks. I wasn't sure. I was like, okay, I'm going to let him go with this. But hey, a big round of applause. That was awesome. That's the way to kick it off. It's great to be here at Mesa Community College. We'd like to thank all of our behind-the-scenes sponsors, including Alpha Graphics, Gateway Bank, East Valley Tribune, Crowd Mics, Hilton Phoenix Mesa, Yvonne Martinez Photography. Yvonne's always running around with his camera. Mesa Community College, Cobblestone Auto Spa, and Crescent Crown Distributing. How about a nice round of applause for all of our sponsors? Don't forget, after the show, after the performance, you can get your Mesa Morning Live bags. Those are full of goodies. If you'd like to have your business represented in the bags, talk to Bob. Please tell me I'm not the only one hearing that. All right. Sometimes I get confused with all the voices in my head. How'd you guys do that? That was bad. It's the 25th annual Spelling Bee and Ventriloquism show. If you'd like to have your business represented in the bags, make sure you talk to, we'll edit this out. This will never make the TV. Talk to Sally or Bob after today's show. I haven't mentioned it yet, but please do take an opportunity at this time to silence your cell phone and anything else that might make noise. I don't even know what that was. Silence your cell phone. We'll consider, if your phone goes off and disrupts the performance today, we'll consider that a $20 donation to the United Food Bank. So if the people around you have left theirs on, call them. The food bank can use your donation. Anyway, let's get this thing started. Welcome our first guest from this morning's sponsor, mynewsmesa.com. Please welcome CEO Rick Flowers and Managing Editor Kelly Mixer. Rick and Kelly, come on up. Good to have you here. Welcome. There we go.
Thank you.
Good to be here. Thanks. Tell us a little bit about who are you guys? Who is Mesa, mynewsmesa.com?
It's apparently a lot harder to say than it is to go to online.
At this hour, yes, it's all tough to say.
My News Mesa is a Mesa-only website. The content is all original, and it's only Mesa. It's news, information, sports, great partnership with MCC, all the businesses in Mesa included. It's going to be where everybody goes. Great. For all the local news.
How long has it been in existence?
We started tinkering with it almost a year ago and have been working on content development ever since. Just went through a website reevaluation and redesign and are really happy with the direction we're going so far, especially with the traffic that we're getting.
That's great. Is it a ad-based website?
It will be. We launch our sponsor program in October. We're not going to do the typical ad program where we go out and sell ads. We're going to have like-minded businesses in the community support it. There'll be 20 of them. They will also make up our advisory board as we continue to develop content focused on improving the community that we live in.
That's great. Well, I know you've got you mentioned a partnership with Mesa Community College. You've got some other partnerships. Pretty impressive. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yes. Well, we have a whole room dedicated to the MCC journalism program where we're bringing in interns that are currently working with us. And we're going as well into the journalism classes and speaking with the future journalists and talking about how media has changed and social media is big time now.
Absolutely. Well, when you think journalism, you think reporters. How many reporters do you have?
We have a handful of freelancers and a couple of staff members, and we plan on expanding that real soon.
That's great. If we were to go on there right now, what's prominently displayed on the current website?
This morning we have, that isn't even the updated version of our front page, but this morning we...
I'm assuming there's a screen above my head?
Yes, believe it or not, there is a screen.
And people keep looking up there and I'm like, what?
That's the way
there we go.
our front page looked before I went to bed last night, but this morning it now has at least 3 news stories up there.
Great.
Regarding business, groundbreaking. One of our columnists, who's a former Mesa police detective, and we're giving the Mesa PD a little love since they'll be the chiefs on the show today.
Absolutely. It was a smart move on your part.
Yes. Butter him up. So.
Exactly. What was the genesis of this? Did you feel like there was the city of Mesa was underserved when it came to this?
Absolutely.
Yes.
20 years ago, there were reporters all over Mesa. Now there is none, actually. The Republic's last Mesa reporter just left.
Wow.
Got reassigned to Phoenix. So there are no Mesa-assigned journalists. We will have the largest staff in Mesa, covering Mesa only. And a city this size, with all the great things happening here, really deserves that kind of coverage.
Right. And we're covering the community. We're doing a lot of those community people interest stories, as well as sports. We have Jason Skoda, who's a sports reporter that's been in the Valley for a long time, has a good following, and Friday night is a big night for him, so you'll see a lot of the football coverage.
We cover all the high school football games, all the Mesa high schools, wherever they go, photographers and journalists. So we have full stories and photos on all the games.
That's great. Any thoughts about going to print, or is this
Never.
strictly...
No.
Never.
Sure.
Came from that world, not going back.
Yep.
That's awesome. Well, I'm glad you were pretty definitive about that. There was you weren't hedging on that at all.
No.
That's great. Well, as Mesa grows, I'm sure that you're looking for growth opportunities too. How do these folks get your website? Just
My News Mesa, mynewsmesa.com, online, on your phone. We'll have an app out in about a month and a half, but the site is mobile optimized now, so you can get all the information there. You can get a hold of Kelly, get a hold of myself. If you got a great story, let us know. We'd love to come out and talk to everybody who has anything relative to the community. We really want to talk about what's going on that's positive. You know, the problem with the media now is that people don't trust them, and they only report the bad things. So we want to be different. I came from the newspaper and TV world, and believe me, I saw it firsthand.
Yeah. So no fake news, is that what you're telling me?
No fake news.
No fake news.
Well, the beauty of web-based news is it's constantly it used to be back, this shows how old I am, and others in here, you had to wait till the morning to find out what would happen the day before.
Right.
But now, how often do you update your content?
We're constantly updating all throughout the day, and it's getting better and better.
Right. Any chance that any of this conversation will be on the website?
Oh, yeah, I might have an MCC intern out there doing some video right now.
We do have an MCC intern out here doing some video, and actually, it's more likely that the police chief's information will be on the website than our information.
He's a little bit more important than us right now, so.
If he arrests me at any point during the show, that would be great if we could get some hits on the website.
That would make
That would definitely
make the
be
website.
in the big
We'd go viral.
featured box.
Yeah,
Go viral on that.
we would share that.
Awesome. I might have to smart off to the police chief. That could be cool. That could help my career. Well, we appreciate it. Really, at this point, could anything hurt it? We appreciate you being here, and great idea. Whose idea was it to do this?
This guy's idea.
Yeah, it's been a dream of mine for several years now.
Great. Well, thanks for coming up with the idea. Thanks for being here. Does anybody have a quick question? I don't know if we have a microphone. If you got any questions, just send them through the website.
Yeah.
Yes, our contact information is on there, our emails.
Okay, great. If anybody wants to advertise.
Absolutely. The information on the sponsor programs on the website as well.
Great. Well, you got it all covered there. Thank you so much for being here. We appreciate you stopping by. And once again, how about a nice round of applause for Kelly and Rick? Thanks for being here, guys. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thanks for being here.
You were good, but not good enough. So please don't ask why. Simply say goodbye.
That was awesome. Well, our next segment is what we like to call the mystery guest. This is for the person that brings the most first-time attendees to Mesa Morning Live. And this month's winner is, I've got the business card, is Mr. Willie Higgins. Willie, come on up, be our mystery guest. Welcome Willie on stage. Good to have you here, sir. I'm going to read your business card.
Okay.
Because this will make it easier for me to tell who you are. And this, I'm telling you what, look at that card. There's a lot of stuff on here. Willie Higgins is the State Apprentice Program Lead for the Apprenticeship Arizona Employer Engagement Administration.
Yep.
I had no idea that even existed.
Exactly why we're here.
And now you're here from the Department of Economic Security.
Yeah, well, the Department of Economic Security hosts the apprenticeship program along with 43 other programs for the state of Arizona. We came here because we're the best kept secret. We have right now 142 registered programs in Arizona, catering to 32 registered apprenticeships, and all over the place. Construction, healthcare, IT, business services, etc. We just want to get the word out. I'm from here, Mesa. We've only got 4 programs in Mesa.
Well, you know, I'm pretty observant. Mm-hmm. And I know you're from Mesa now, but I can detect a slight accent. I am guessing Apache Junction.
Well, I've had East Arkansas as well, so I get them all. But
It's, you know, one of those.
Bob has promised me the Rosetta Stone for everybody after this.
Where are you originally from?
I'm from Belfast, Northern Ireland.
Oh, okay.
Yep, I came here.
That is east of Apache.
A little bit east of New York, even.
Yeah.
So we came here in 1994. My family settled right in here in Mesa, haven't moved since.
Well, good for you. That's awesome.
So we got a great team. We've got our team with us today for the GROW apprenticeships in Arizona, which the Department of Economic Security has seen fit to see that everybody in government is trying to create more apprenticeship programs, because that's the word right now. We work with Mesa Community College, and it's the alternative to college. We don't want everybody incurring that debt that so many people have incurred over the past few years going through a 4-year college. This is the complete alternative. We have some programs where students actually get an associate's degree upon completion, and they're making 6 figures. Wow. So not every one of them are like that, but there's a lot of lucrative apprenticeship programs. And we're just happy to cater to anybody, because we have over 1,100 apprenticeable occupations that we have work process and related instruction for. And we're building here in Mesa Community College and all of our Maricopa community colleges, as well as the states as well, all over the state.
That's great. Well, I know that as you're, not only the folks here in the audience, but also watching on Channel 11 at home, the idea of getting a degree and not incurring a lot of student debt is pretty attractive. If they've got any questions or anything, how do they get a hold of you?
So you can go to our webpage at azapprenticeship.com, and there's actually a nice little, the Jillian who you met earlier, Jillian put together a beautiful little PowerPoint slideshow to give you an overview of what apprenticeship is all about. There's contact information for any of our team members on there, and you can just go in there and go around the website and find out for yourself. If you have any questions, contact us and we're more than happy to help you. If you're an employer and you want to find out more about apprenticeship programs, give us a call. We can come out and visit with you and explain exactly what it costs for you to set up a program, which is $0, which is always nice, right?
Cost $0. When was the last time you heard that about anything?
Well, that's your taxpayers' dollars at work, and we want to continue to keep paying our salaries, so let's help us, help ourselves, help us.
That's great. Any other little, give us a 30-second commercial on why people should work with you.
We're a great team to work with. We create great opportunities for job seekers. And once we get your program up, if already there is not a career pathway, we work with the community colleges, our joint technical education districts, and our partners at Arizona at Work to create opportunities and find financing. We also work with our veterans groups. So instead of you putting one of those bumper stickers that says support our troops, you can support your troops by creating a registered apprenticeship program and letting them access their GI benefits through that registered apprenticeship program. So that's another great way of giving back.
That's great. Well, we appreciate you being here. Thanks for bringing some first-time guests and being our mystery guest. And if anybody's got any, are you going to hang around afterwards and be out in the lobby? If anybody's got any questions, you can talk to Willie Higgins. Willie, thanks for being here.
Thank you, Mark.
Welcome. Thank you.
Goodbye, 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 goodbye.
That is very cool. Well, it's great to have somebody here from Ireland. Top of the morning to you, Willie. So all the Irish I know is either that or you're magically delicious. That's all I got. Our next segment is sponsored by our good friends at Gateway Bank, a local bank focusing on growing your personal or business finances. It's called Community Spotlight, and it allows us to highlight the strong nonprofit community that we have here in Mesa. This morning, I'd like to welcome to the stage, representing Ryan House, Development Director Marghan Miller and Executive Director Alyssa Crockett. Please welcome Marghan and Alyssa. Welcome.
Oh.
Good to have you here.
Great to be here.
Thank you.
Good morning.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining us. Tell us a little bit about Ryan House.
So Ryan House cares for Arizona's most medically fragile children and helps them navigate life-limiting or end-of-life journeys. So as our children who are diagnosed maybe at birth or have suffered a traumatic incident are living longer lives because of these wonderful advances in medicine, Ryan House comes in and helps them live their best lives possible and helps their whole family navigate this journey with wonderful support and a community of support that is always there for them.
That's great. Is this, was it started here in Mesa?
No, it started actually in Phoenix, Arizona. We opened in 2010. We're one of 2 facilities doing this kind of work in the country, but we serve many families from Mesa and the East Valley. That's
great. Now, it's 100% community funded, is that correct?
It is. Our annual operating budget is about $3 million, and it's all community supported. There is no reimbursement right now for the type of work that we're doing, and we're trying to change that. But in the meantime, it's all good folks like you and the businesses, local organizations who support us.
That's great. Well, I know that you've got an upcoming fundraiser, I'm guessing.
We do.
Tell us about that, Marghan.
We have our 13th annual Run for Ryan House, which is being held right here in Mesa at Riverview Park on Saturday, October 7th. We welcome walkers, runners, strollers, dogs, anybody to come out. We have a 5K, a little competitive 5K, and we also have a family fun walk. It's our opportunity to really engage our families to come out and participate and give back to Ryan House. You had mentioned you don't hear zero very often. None of our families are ever charged for our services. Each child receives 28 days of respite care, and if it does turn into an end-of-life journey, that's unlimited days. So that $3 million helps support our families not having to pay for our services.
Wow. That's probably, what, 4 weeks from tomorrow? Mm-hmm. So there's plenty of time to train. I know I'm going to start in the morning. I'm thinking I'm going to start tomorrow morning.
Good job.
I'm going to start training for the...
Well, walkers are welcome as well. So it's a nice, flat, fast course. So you're going to be good.
Okay. When you say I need a walker, is that what you're telling me?
Pardon, you know. Although if you do want to participate that way, that's absolutely...
I'll be on a hoverboard. Anyway. Well, that's great. In addition to the walk and supporting you that way, what else can people do to be involved and supportive of Ryan House?
Please visit our website, ryanhouse.org. We need volunteers. We need folks to come in and do many things. Cook for our kids, help us keep the house clean, play with the kids, read books, help us out at the run, help us out at our different events that are community-based, and get the word out.
We have a wish list on our website, so while we always want financial support, some people just love to come and fill our pantry with snacks, and kids love to bake, so cake mixes and frosting and cookie making. So all of those things help us keep our expenses down by the generosity of the greater Phoenix community.
That's great. Well, as a side note, and we thank you very much for taking the time to be here and tell us about Ryan House, we have a crack research team at Mesa Morning Live. We don't just allow anybody to come on the show. We do some background checks. And Alyssa, in your background check, it revealed that you've written a screenplay and it was produced. Is this something we might see in the future? What did you write, and tell us about that?
Oh my goodness. That was about 14 years ago when I had my daughter, and it was a 24-hour It's good to be back in a theater.
Yeah.
24-hour sort of guerrilla screenwriting contest. And boy, that was another lifetime ago.
Well, you're on stage now.
Yes.
We have cameras rolling. If you'd like to.
Oh, no.
If you'd
I
like
was the
to
writer.
Say a couple lines.
I was behind the scenes. I was the writer.
If you'd like to act out a scene at all.
I'd like these guys to play that.
No, they'll do it. Well, you know, it's in the theme of everything, the spelling bee. Give us the website and spell it out for us, where people can go and see. And if they're not right, if they misspell their own website, I want you to come up with something. Spell the website where people can find out. How's that for direction?
Okay.
Spell it out for us.
RyanHouse.org. How'd I do?
You made it to the next round. You didn't hear the buzzer. Well, thank you very much for what you do. Any last thing you'd like to say?
Thank you so much for listening. If you know someone who would love to participate in the run, please share our website. Also, if you know a family who could possibly use our services, this is another way for us to reach out our tentacles and get into the community, because you never know if somebody you know who knows someone that could possibly use our services. So spread the word.
That's great. Well, keep up the good work. Are you going to hang around afterwards? Mm-hmm. Okay, they'll be milling around out there if you got any questions. In the meantime, how about a nice round of applause as we send them off to, I'm sure, something entertaining. Marghan and Alyssa, thank you so much.
Thank you.
I would like to hire them to have them at my house the next time a solicitor shows up at my door. That'd be awesome. Send them off the right way. Hey, it's time for Mesa Morning Top 10. I know that's why most of you tune in, is our monthly Top 10 list. It's September, and there are a lot of fall traditions that we like to think about this time of year. You probably didn't think about this next subject as a fall tradition, but we at Mesa Morning Live did. We're here to warn you about this month's important top 10. Top 10 places you don't want to put pumpkin spice. You know, aren't you just about tired of all the pumpkin spice on everything? So if you look above my head, I'm assuming the screen is up. All right, cool. Top 10 places you don't really want to see pumpkin spice. Number 10, at Chipotle. Nobody really wants a pumpkin spice burrito. Let that one sink in a little bit. Number 9, places you don't want to see pumpkin spice Doritos. That is just nasty, but not as nasty as number 8, pumpkin spice Listerine. That's nothing like minty fresh. Number 7, oh, this is something for Willie Higgins. Pumpkin spice Irish Spring. Boy, doesn't that sound refreshing. Number 6 place you don't want to see pumpkin spice. It's back, pumpkin spice rubber. I thought that we'd get more moans out of that. But I'm sure you're saving them up for number 5, which is pumpkin spice Charmin toilet tissue. Wow. That is so wrong on so many different levels. Number 4 place you don't want to see pumpkin spice, Top Ramen. Ooh is right. Number 3, this actually might work. Pumpkin spice Roundup for all those pesky weeds in your garden. Number 2, this would actually be pretty cool. Remington shotgun shells flavored in pumpkin spice. And the number 1 place you don't really want to see pumpkin spice tacos are here. Just kidding, drink tequila. Big round of applause for the top 10. All right, well, it's time for the Wheel of Prizes, which we do every month. It's a pretty cool wheel if you look at it. Mesa Chamber members have donated gifts for the Wheel of Prizes. We draw one lucky audience member to spin that Wheel of Prize. The audience member chosen will spin the wheel for the opportunity to win one of 31 prizes. They're all valued at $50 or more. And if you land on the jackpot, you win everything on the wheel. Try that again. Come on, people. If you lands on jackpot, you win everything on the wheel. Okay, and we've already drawn. I just was notified that Sally drew the winning name, or it was somehow drawn, and that lucky winner is... It's to be determined. It's what? Oh, it's in my text. I didn't want to turn my phone on. It cost me $20 if I do that. Oh, that was pretty cool. See, we have the crowd mics. Okay, here we go. The winner is, from the Boys and Girls Club of the East Valley, Mr. Charles Bradley. Big round of applause as Charles comes up. I'm guessing, okay. Oh, there he is. Charles is going to join us. Don't fall off the stage, Charles. That would be a terrible way to do the Wheel of Prizes. Come on over here, sir. How are you? I need a, well, come on over here. Oh, there it is. I'm all out of sorts with this new venue. Charles, welcome. Wow, I'm not going to say anything that might offend Charles. Welcome, sir. You're a big man.
I don't mean to be.
You ever thought about working out?
No, it might hurt me.
You're a big man. Hey, we do have the police chief here, is that right? In case things get bad between me and Charles, I want you to back up one of us. I don't really care who at this point. Okay, Charles, this is what you're gonna do. You're gonna spin the wheel toward you.
Okay.
Don't try and show off how big and strong you are and spin this thing into the wheel of death. Just spin it where it goes around once. If it lands exactly on like that, you win the prize that's closest to you. Chances are it won't, but we like to cover our bases. So, tell us, before we do this, tell us a little bit about what you do at the Boys and Girls Club.
Yes, again, I'm the Director of Development. I've been with the Boys and Girls. This is finish up my 4th week.
Oh, good.
I came from Valley Sun United Way to the East Valley Boys and Girls Club.
Well, welcome to Mesa, and good job. Well, which Boys and Girls Club? It's the Grant Woods Boys and Girls Club. Mm-hmm. Grant's a good friend of mine and a friend of the Chambers and a good man. So thanks for being here. 4 weeks in, what do you think?
4 weeks. Made a great decision. So I'm enjoying every second of it.
Well, good for you. And this, I would say, I'm going to go out on a limb here. This has probably been the highlight so far.
I have to say, I agree with you 1,000%.
It's it hasn't been that great of 4 weeks, evidently. By the way, this is sponsored by Thompson's Auto Repair and Towing. See, it should look like that, but Charles is going to spin it, and then you're going to win something. So, crank some music. Charles, have at it. Here, I'll hold this and spin the wheel toward you. Woo! And Charles is going to win a $50 gift card to, and I don't even know, what is that? Oh, is it from George? It's from George Bliss. I didn't recognize your new logo. It's a $50 gift card from George Bliss. We love it whenever we spend George's money, so thank you very much. George Bliss is Mr. Mesa Chamber. So, Charles, welcome to Mesa. Thanks for what you do at the Boys and Girls Club. And a big round of applause for Mr. Charles Bradley. All right, well, thank you very much. And at this time, we're going to get to our big special guest of the month of this episode. We've talked about him already a couple of times, so there's no surprise that he's here. He is one of the newest employees to the Mesa Police Department. Please welcome me in welcoming. I always get so nervous when I'm around officers. It's the warrants, I think. Please join me in welcoming Mesa Police Chief Ramon Batista. Mr. Batista, come on up.
How are you?
Good to have you here. I thought they would have played like Bad Boys, What You Gonna Do, or something like that. But welcome to Mesa Morning Live, and welcome to Mesa. And tell us a little bit about your journey to be here.
Well, my name is Ramon Batista. I was born in Los Angeles, California, but was raised in Tucson, Arizona. I always wanted to be a police officer since I think my earliest recollection is 10 years old, and got to live out my dream in Tucson for 31 and a half years. I did everything that there was to do there with just really a couple of exceptions, but this is just an amazing opportunity that came up the first part of this year, and I am simply honored and blessed to have the opportunity to be a part of the community and to be a part of this really terrific organization at the City of Mesa and Mesa Police Department.
So how long have you been in your current role? It's just been a short time.
Charles and I have something in common here. 6 weeks. 6 weeks.
Wow, good for
And
you.
this is the highlight of my 6 months. I'm just kidding.
You're
Right,
good.
Charles?
You're
This was the
good.
highlight.
Yeah, exactly. Well, cool. Well, welcome. 6 weeks in. Has it been everything you thought it would be? Well, I'm sure there's challenges you didn't expect, and it's got to be very rewarding. Tell us
You know
about
what's
that.
interesting is that when it comes to people and policing and crime coming from just 100 miles away, the issues are the same. And really what changes is the acronyms are different. But so none of it has surprised me. And it is really a well-run organization. So I feel like I've landed on my feet. And like I said, I couldn't be happier to be here. So some folks have asked me, so how long are you going to stay? I'm going to stay as long as you'll have me and as long as we're enjoying success together. I want to be here for the long haul. I love Arizona.
That's great. Now, do you live here now?
Yes. So that's been quite the journey. Our house finally closed last week, and so now I'm in the midst of trying to get it painted, move in, all those kinds of things that all happen when you're trying to run an organization as large as ours.
If you need any help on that, George Bliss Realty, the gentleman that just sponsored the
$50.
Make sure you talk to George afterwards. He'll hook you up with. He's got all kinds of stuff.
All right.
And don't do a background check.
No.
Well, I know you mentioned that from your first recollection, you wanted to be a police officer.
Yeah.
What do you think drove that passion?
Honestly, at that age, it was just cops and robbers. It really was. It really was. And but as you get older, you figure out that there is something that really is special about helping others, and the huge feeling of satisfaction that you get about service. And so this is interesting because I think there's a lot of talk around the country about the difficulty in hiring folks to come and join the ranks of the police department, whether it's professional staff or sworn police officers. But I got to tell you that in my travels around the country, my experiences in Tucson and certainly here in Mesa is that we are drawing from a pool of folks that have a heart of service. And I think that every day there's young people that are graduating high school, starting college, that have a heart of service. And our goal is to find those folks and pull them into the organization that is dedicated to serving the community. And certainly we've seen some issues across the country that make us reflect on, wow, what is the police doing? But I got to tell you that in this community, we've got really great people, and we're drawing from those folks, those young people in our community, and bringing them in. And so it's finding folks with a heart of service and that want to serve the community.
What kind of, I know that all crime is out there, but what kind of crime issues are prevalent in Mesa?
So I just happened to sit through a program that we have in Mesa. It's been in place for quite a few years, and it's something that is well known across the country. It's something called CompStat, and it's a crime program where the district commanders come in and talk to the bureau chief of patrol and explain to him face to face what issues they're experiencing in their districts, and they talk about the plans that they have to mitigate those problems and those crimes. They identify the crime trends and they figure out the strategies to address them and mitigate them. And that is one of the great things about Mesa is that I came from a community that experienced very high violent crime. And although violent crime really shocks the conscience anywhere, anytime it happens. And we have it here. We're a large city, almost 500,000 people, and it's in an urban environment, so we have crime. But what I love about Mesa and the organization and the process that they have is that they have a way of pinpointing that crime and getting to it and mitigating it as soon as possible. So I'll see a flyer, a wanted flyer for any number of crimes, property crimes, so an assault or what have you, and literally within days, I see that they've made an arrest. And to me, that's amazing, because I wasn't used to that. I was used to some of those things just lingering and lingering for days, weeks, and months. And here, within days, they're making contact with the suspect and addressing the issue. It's just amazing. So rest assured that you've got a tremendously good police department. Like I said, I've landed on my feet here. It's amazing.
That's awesome. Well, I know that everybody wants to live in a safer place. What can we all do as residents of Mesa? What can we do to do our part other than not committing crimes?
Speaking of, I ran a red light, and so tomorrow I'm attending driving school tomorrow morning.
Is awesome.
I'll be at the Holiday Inn if anybody wants to stop by and ask me any questions there. Taking my 4-hour course.
How do they have like a Barney Fife? Citizens arrest! Citizens arrest!
I saw you running a red light.
That is beautiful. If it'll help at all, I would be more than happy to write a letter to get you out of this.
Too late. Should have come here sooner.
That's awesome.
So what can we do as citizens? I think that when we're driving, let's just focus on that for a second. We got to pay attention, and especially at our intersections. You know, red light running is one of the major contributors to traffic accidents around our city. And it has many repercussions, from just property damage to loss of life. And you know that we've had a lot of pedestrian fatalities in the city, so I think that it is incumbent upon drivers and pedestrians to pay attention when they're near the roadways or on the roadways. I think that a good way to stay connected is to follow us on Twitter, at Mesa PD. Follow me on Twitter, at Batista10. Follow us on Facebook, because it's not that we're asking you to get on Twitter and then all of a sudden you have to engage on Twitter and all that. But you know what? If you're following us on Twitter, then you're going to know what's occurring in the city, whether it's good, whether we've got a major situation, we've got an area shut down, an intersection that's got an accident. You're going to get that information right on your handheld device. And it's simple, it's easy, and it's also a way to communicate with us. If you see something and you want to bring it to our attention, by all means. So how do we all work together to make this a safe community? We stay engaged. Our neighborhoods are a huge component of that. One of the things that I'm going to emphasize to our patrol districts, our district officers, is the level of engagement. So crime control is of great importance to me. And I'm going to make sure that we stay on top of public safety and crime control. But what is equally important to me is making sure that public perception of the police department and our level of engagement, our level of empathy, our level of ability to simply listen. When you get pulled over and there's something that caused for you to break a traffic law, I want our officers to listen. I want our officers to be able to hear you out. And you may or may not get a citation, but what's important is that you will know that from our perspective you have a voice, and that's the kind of citizen satisfaction that I'm going to pursue. And it's not to say that it's not here, but it's my job to make sure that we make it even better.
You know, I like to think of myself as a problem solver. This just came into my head. I haven't really figured it out yet. I don't know if there's some flaws in the thought process, but maybe we could encourage, if we see somebody that's about to run a red light, we could text them.
Texting and driving, that would be, no, don't text and drive. No.
Oh yeah, that. I hadn't thought that all the way through. But
well, we did.
Yeah, that is I joke about it, but that's a huge issue.
It is.
When you're driving around, the next time you just look around, I mean, pay attention to the road, but at a red light, look at all the people around you on their phones.
Yes.
Just, leave the phone alone.
And I think it's incumbent upon all of us, right, to be responsible to not do that while we're operating a motor vehicle, because it is hugely unsafe, and it is. It's all of our responsibilities.
Right. I'm sure that somebody might have a question. I don't know if we've got an ability to get a mic to you, but if you'll raise your hand. The acoustics in here are so awesome that you can probably just holler out a question if you've got one for Chief. Is it Chief Batista?
Yeah, it's Ramon Batista. It's Ramon. It's,
okay,
it's
Chief
whatever
Ramon
you want to
Batista.
call me.
Anybody got a question for him? Right here in the middle. Holler it out.
I just want to know, when you got that ticket for that running the red light, were you in uniform or did they know who you were?
Was it a photo ticket?
You know who I am.
It was a photo ticket, and it was myself, my wife, our daughter, and we were a little harried. You know, I didn't know the area yet. It was we were meeting the realtor, and I was like, where am I supposed to go? And it just inattention. So we were off duty. It was even before I took office. It was I want to say July 28th or something like that, or prior to, I can't remember, but right before I took office. So and it was a photo ticket. Yeah.
You know, there's an old joke about a guy that got the photo ticket in the mail, and so he sent a picture of a $100 bill in for his ticket, and then they sent a picture of a jail, and so he went to driving school. So good move on your part.
I stopped by the office within the police department that processes red light tickets, and just meeting them right for the first time, and I said, "You know where this is going." So it must have been between the ticket being in process still, because they hadn't seen it. But I said, hey, you guys probably already know who I am, right? Because of what you do. And they're like, no. They're like, and then they like, John's like, did you get a ticket? I said, no, but I'm going to. I said, so it's going to be coming through here. I said, make sure it flies through like normal. And they're like, oh, okay, we will do. So.
The technology behind those is so incredible. I got a photo radar ticket a number of years ago. It was so clear that I actually used that as my driver's license photo. That's
they're good.
How
pretty
come
good
the photo?
technology.
Okay, I got a beef. How come the photo radar tickets are so good, but yet when like a Circle K gets held up or something like that, the camera just you can't even tell if that's a human. Can't we use some of the technology from if a guy's moving at 80 miles an hour, which I happen to be, 80. It was a school zone, so I kept it down.
What year was that?
Yeah. It was prior to you being here, Chief. Oh. You were in Tucson. This was not your jurisdiction then. But no, it's just, anyway. Well, welcome. And I saw, we had a question right here in the front. Shelley.
My daughter runs that department at ATS, so we should have her come. You could have gotten out that way.
She runs the ticket, the photo thing?
She's kind of, yeah.
Oh, wow.
I had a tour of ATS as well. And yeah, I told them, I said, hey, by the way, my face is coming through here. So they got a good laugh out of it too.
I got two questions. One's from Bob. Are you getting questions here? Yes, Bob, I'm getting questions. That's the only
not on your
I
phone,
have.
not the text message.
See, there's a lot of technology going on here. Yes. And by the way, that's something else. I pull up next to an officer, and he's got the laptop. He's got he's sending faxes. I might be making that part up. He's got a tanning bed in the back seat. There's a whole lot of technology.
And a ride-along, and somebody ride-along.
I did that Mesa ride-along thing once.
You should, everybody should.
I was in the back seat, but my point is, back in my crazy days, I'm just kidding, officer.
What year was that?
But no, you've got to be, the officers have got to be well-versed, and you've got to be a sharp cookie to be an officer.
Yes, we go through quite the vetting process to get to the stage where an officer is by themselves. As a matter of fact, that's the important part of making sure that we continue through and making sure that we're recruiting and vetting and hiring the best people. It takes 11 months. 11 months from the time that they come in through the door and the time that they're done with training and can operate by themselves, which is the ultimate goal of having an officer to be out there by themselves, handling calls and doing the work. 11 months, it's a long time.
By the way, I said smart. You got to be a sharp cookie. That is not a good name to call an officer if he pulls you over. Just don't call him sharp cookie. That doesn't impress them at all. Any other questions? I saw a hand or two go up. Somebody had a question and then thought better of it. What would you like to see if you could challenge all of us, and not just here in the audience, but watching on TV, Mesa's a great place to live.
Absolutely.
And I know you feel that way or you wouldn't be here. What can we do? What would you like to see people do to make it an even better place?
You know, I got to tell you that coming to the community and seeing the level of engagement and support from my bosses at City Hall, the elected officials that do it, not just privately, but publicly, and then going out into the community and meeting everyone and listening to the support that they have for us has been amazing for me. Certainly a huge positive change over the 31 years of experience that I have. And I love being here. So if there's a message that I would say about how I would want to improve on things, it's just simply to say that if we're out and about, engage, talk to us. And I'm pushing that same message internally and saying that every contact that we have with the community matters. So whether we're walking into a coffee shop or we are making a traffic stop or taking a burglary call, every single contact matters, and every single contact to us is an opportunity to make a new friend and to engage somebody in the public and build a relationship. A good one is my ultimate goal. So just engage and stay connected. Let us know what you see and give us your opinion. You're never going to, if you see me out in public, let me know what you're thinking. You're never going to offend me with your comments or your thoughts about what we're trying to get right or where we're missing the point. We're a large organization made up of human beings, and we're going to strive to get it right, but we're going to make mistakes. And when we do, let us know.
That's great. Oh, got a question that just came in. It's not a question, it's a statement, so I'll save that. This audience is comprised of adults. We're all kind of, the old dogs, new tricks syndrome. I'm sure that you're always trying to engage the youth as a way to let them know that the officer's their friend and they're, what do you do as a community outreach for the youngsters of Mesa?
So we've got a phenomenal partnership with the Arizona Department of Education. We've got 13 or 14 school resource officers throughout the community. And thank goodness for the support and the grant monies that come from the state in order for us to be able to fund the school resource officer program. And the SRO program is not a function of enforcement at the schools. It is much more of a program of education and engagement. And I can't tell you the number of young officers that I've met throughout my career that were strongly influenced into the career field of service, one way or another, because there was a school resource officer in their lives that made a difference and that wasn't there to bust them. He was there to coach and mentor. And so that's one program that we have. We also have the Mesa program, which is making every student accountable. That is a program that comes around once a year. It also has had a high degree of success, and it's really due to the community partnership between the police department and the schools and the outstanding effort of the 2 or 3 officers that are in charge of running that year in and year out. And from that, also community businesses that have contributed to making the program a success, because we need funding for some really basic things, but huge support from companies like ATS that has supported the Mesa program.
That's great. Yeah. When you're not being a police chief, what do you like to do? You have any hobbies or?
So the number one priority in my life is obviously my faith, but my family. And right now it is a difficult time because I'm here by myself and my family is still in Tucson. We're still in transition. Our daughter just started freshman year, so that's probably the hardest component for me to deal with right now. But on my off time, I used to have a motorcycle, but now there's no time for that now. Nowadays, it's really being with my family and spending time with them. My daughter is 14. She's gigantically tall. She's like 5'11", and I love playing basketball with her. I love watching her play, going to games. Our son is in the Air Force, so a kid growing up in the Southwest is now assigned to a small Air Force base just outside of Boston, the Northeast, and so the experiences for him have been outstanding. And so family is really my biggest thing. That's outside of making sure that our organization is at its optimum. Yeah.
All right, final question, and I'd like to remind you that you have the right to remain silent. I want you to think about this without legal counsel. U of A or ASU?
Oh, wow. This isn't the first time I've heard this in the last 6 weeks.
Take the fifth.
So, hey,
it's fun to watch a cop squirm.
Moving around. So, I'm open and transparent. I'll tell you that U of A basketball is still outstanding in my book, but I'm now here and I'm part of the Phoenix Valley, and I will plan on going and supporting the Diamondbacks and ASU football. But U of A basketball is still, in my heart. I don't know.
Well, that's tough to argue with that logic right there.
Yeah.
Well, we appreciate you taking, I know you're busy, 6 weeks in, you're a busy man. Thanks for taking time out of your busy schedule to come here and class up our act. Women love a guy in uniform. When I was a kid, I heard that and I went to work at Wendy's, and it's not near the same effect. But we appreciate you being here and classing up Mesa Morning Live. So how about a big round of applause for Chief Ramon Batista. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you being here.
You were good, but not good enough. So please don't ask why. Simply say goodbye.
Hey, these guys, what a great job they have done all morning. They're gonna send us off with a final little number, I do believe. Are you prepared for something like that? Otherwise, we could have you spell something. Okay, they're gonna send us off, but before they do, I'd like to thank all of our guests. How about a big round of applause for everybody that's been here? Rick Flowers and Kelly Mixer, Mr. Willie Higgins was here, Alyssa Crockett, and Marghan, thank you very much, from Ryan House. And of course, our special guest, Chief Ramon Batista. Thank you for our breakfast. Breakfast was awesome this morning, wasn't it? Nicely done. Thank you there. Thank you to all the tabletops in the lobby. Mesa Community College, thanks for this beautiful venue and your theater to have our little silly little monthly meeting. Next month is going to be special. Our most requested guest, this is making our, I think, third or fourth maybe appearance, the human calculator, Scott Flansburgh, will be here next month, Friday, October 13th. Don't let that scare you. He's going to have a very great presentation, the human calculator. Look him up online. If you want to see anything about past shows of Mesa Morning Live, you can go to the website, mesamorninglive.com. But without further ado, please send us off. This is the cast of Putnam County Spelling Bee. Pick up your tickets afterwards, but how about a nice round of applause for these guys? Do it up.